All right, it is time for our next review on Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Episode 3. Again, like I said in the first video, if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch that one and kind of get caught up if you want to. If you have not watched the series and you don't want spoilers, this is your chance right now because get ready, it is spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. You have been warned. All right, moving forward, Episode 3. We're getting a lot of information now into here on the storyline that's going along with this. Now, I am hearing and seeing a lot of posts and things on there, some haters out there not liking the series, and that's fine. Opinions, everybody has them. I have my own as well. I happen to be really enjoying the series. It may not be following the books. It's not following the books very closely, and that's fine. It's something different. It's something to kind of get you going, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got to be along for this ride and see what's going to happen. That's what's going on with this. So Gladriel is the main character in this one, should I say. There's a few other characters that we're starting to see in there, and they name drop some other ones. And it's great because I'll watch it with my fiance and they'll name something and I get all excited, start hopping around all over the place, going, I can't believe we're finally figuring out where this happened, how this came about. And she's kind of looking at me like, the name doesn't sound familiar. I'm still going to marry her. I still love her to death. But I'm going to teach her. No, there's a lot of information in the Lord of the Rings saga, and I'm a huge fan of it. So whenever it comes to some of the names that are dropped on there, Isildur. When they dropped that one on there and showed the character, at first I was like, that name sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar? The Blade of Isildur. And you can see the blade unbroken. Phenomenal. It just kind of, yeah, it's good stuff. You get to see the orcs before they become the movie material orcs that are on there. I mistakenly called them goblins because I thought that's what they were. They have kind of a different look to them, but they definitely have also where sunlight is their absolute enemy. So they want to be doing everything in the shadows, kind of like trolls. Cave trolls, of course. We're talking cave trolls. But the elves figure out a way to try to escape. Doesn't go very well at all. They attempt the escape. Some were slaughtered in the process. Some were slaughtered right in front of others to prove a point. And now the main elf that's in there, Aldiar, they're right there. I can like see the names in front of me, but I just can't pronounce them. But you can't fault me for that because it's Lord of the Rings. Come on. But they decide whenever he tries to make his attempt and they bring him back into the pit that now he's going to go see Aldar. Aldar is the one that they worship. That is their leader. Name sounds kind of familiar too, doesn't it? If it's what I'm thinking it is, it's that leader, Mork. Wow, I just went Mork and Mindy on this thing. Yeah, okay. Well, Nanu, might as well say Shazbat on that one too. And if you don't understand, you're not old enough to, so just don't worry about it. Don't even Google it or anything. The leader of the orcs. In the movie, whenever they resurrected that one, came out of the mud and everything, and he ends up leading these legions going into the battles and all. I'm thinking that's Aldar. But they're also kind of alluding to the fact that since Sauron is back, that he's taking a different form, so it could be Aldar is Sauron. We don't know yet. Anxiously waiting for Friday to go ahead and find out what's going on with that one and see where this thing leads. But right now, there's a lot of movement in the story. The elves are starting to get being persecuted and held there, basically slave labor, is what it is, to go ahead and build what is going to become Mordor. Did not know that, actually. Did not know that it wasn't the orcs who actually did that. I don't think that was ever really applied upon. So this is a neat little twist on why there is so much hatred between these, of course, light and dark and everything, but still, it kind of builds onto it. So that's the elf story. On the dwarf side, we really didn't see much in this episode with the dwarf story on there. It still has left us hanging on what's going on in the city over there. But we do have a much bigger story coming up in the human side of things. They went to the island that the elves gave to the humans whenever they decided to side with them and fight in the Great War against Sauron. Since so many humans were slaughtered, the elves decided to go ahead and say, hey, you can go over here. We'll give you plenty of everything you need. You'll never want for anything. You're on this island, blah, blah, blah. It's more or less like a prison island. They're not prisoners in all rights, per se. But then again, they don't know any better. So how does that play out? It's a neat little inner storyline that you're looking at on there. And we find out that there are some allegiances to the elves that have been broken pretty heavily because of being put on this island, and then some that are even stronger because now that Galadriel has learned, has become a part of this island, shall we say, since she was taken there. So she's able to go to one of their holy places, libraries, chapel, whatever you want to call this thing. And she finds scrolls in there talking about Sauron and what's going on and all, and looking at the mark, and finds out that the mark is not just a mark, it's a piece of a map. And it very well ends, and again, we've already had the spoiler alert on this, but the map, whenever she puts it down on the map and everything, it actually shows a small piece of the map. And that's what they're going for, and that's what they're working on right now. But in the script in the scrolls, it's talking about expansion. So, looking forward to seeing what's going to be happening in episode 4. Hoping to see more of the dwarf story in there. I'm sure we will. I'm sure Galadriel is going to work out a way to figure out to get off of the island and start working her way toward this area where all of the orcs and Sauron is supposed to be hiding out. And yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in this, and we want to see what's going on. Like I said, personally, I'm enjoying this. Looking forward to seeing more of what's going on. If you're enjoying these, please, 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 hit that like button, subscribe. That way you don't miss any of these. And we'll be putting these out once a week. Any of the current shows that are out there that I'm watching, I will do once a week, recaps on there, and then let you know, kind of catch up on everything on there. They will have spoiler alerts at the beginning so that everybody knows, and then go from there. But we've got several shows that I've watched and am watching, and we'll be talking about those as we go along. So if you're enjoying these, again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and please, please, please share this out and let other people know what's going on. Until then, well, we know what we've been saying at the end of these things, and I'm going to go ahead and say it again because it's just so much fun saying it. Demon Phil here, and what's in your watch list?